everyone, and welcome back. Today I've got a special guest with me. I've got Mr. Duro Oye over here, who is the founder of 2020 Change. He's a creative as well. Duro, just give us a bit of an introduction about yourself.
Hey, hi everyone. Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Hi, my name is Duro Oye, like you rightly said, founder and chief exec of 2020 Change, a youth empowerment organisation. But my background is as a creative, so I'm a filmmaker by trade, producer, director, mostly documentary films for TV. That's me in a nutshell.
Lovely, thank you, Duro. So today we want to talk about the importance of vision when it comes to being an entrepreneur, but also having the right mindset. And I know you do a lot of work around that. And so actually, just starting off with 2020 Change. I know the first time I met you, I was like, is that about the year 2020? And you're like, no, it's about 2020 vision. This is something that people talk about all the time. They say, you have to have vision, the people perish for lack of vision, all of this amazing stuff. But can we just take it back? What is vision, essentially?
Vision is the ability to see. Quite simply, right?
Yeah.
But in our organisation, it's perfect vision, so it's 2020. For us, it's being able to have perfect vision with regards to where you want to go in life. Talk heavily on destination. What's your final destination? That big picture, blue sky thinking. This is where I'm trying to head to, but I don't necessarily know the steps I'm going to take to get there.
Yeah.
But if you have an idea of your destination, you can start mapping out what those steps are. So for us, it's about enabling young people to see the big picture and look from where they are to where they're trying to get to and start to forge or map out that kind of together.
I love that. I think even just building on that, it has a lot to do with clarity.
Absolutely.
Where you have a clear direction, you know where you want to go to. So the decisions that you make, they are so key because you know where you want to go to. And if this isn't in line with where you want to go to, then there's no point in doing that. And so I think even just as a starting point, that should be like the baseline for every individual, but also every organisation. Can you just speak a little bit more about the importance of actually having a vision? And then I guess we can talk about how people can kind of put that together.
Like I said, if you don't know where you're going, one, you won't know when you can get there, and two, you won't know how to get there. So a lot of people that I've come across, especially young people, are just kind of stumbling their way through life. And we kind of see it with adults as well, and that's once again one of the reasons why I set up 2020 Change, because it was lack of inspiration for me. So looking around, certain family members, looking around the environment that I was living in, and I just thought to myself, I don't want to end up in the industry, so I have to do something different to make sure that I know. And the earlier I start, the better. So that's one of the things that I try and instill in young people early on. So you have to be able to see where it is you're meant to get to. If you're not inspired or you're not motivated by what's around you, change what you're doing. So many people are stuck in their environment, they're stuck in their ways, they're stuck in their way of doing things that they don't actually believe that there's a different life out there. And what we try and do is bring that different life to the forefront and show people what's actually possible if you apply yourself in the right way. And one thing that we've also noticed is once you set that vision and you have that end goal, the closer you get to achieving and accomplishing it, you shift the goalpost yourself. It's like, I've attained this now, or I'm close to attaining this, let me push myself a bit further. But if you don't have that vision and that goal in the first place, it's very hard for you to be motivated. It's very hard for you to get up and do something. So that's why I think vision is so important.
I love that motivation, because even as business owners, there's going to be times where things might get challenging or tough.
Many of those times.
Just having that vision at the back of your mind, this is what I want to achieve, this is why I started this business in the first place, and then pushing yourself and going for it. So I love that motivation, definitely. Vision does help with that. So obviously in terms of actually starting a business, I always say to people the first step is actually putting your vision down on paper. What is it that you're trying to achieve through this? Where is it that you're trying to go? You know, don't just start for the sake of starting and then go with the flow and kind of just see how things go. Actually, what's the reason behind this? And again, it's so important to write it down so that you can always refer to it, so that you can always go back to it when things get challenging, or, you know, if you have people coming on board as well, for you to be able to share that vision with them and get them on board with that. I mean, do you have anything to add in terms of that?
Yeah, sure. I think I believe in writing things down, even if it's just to make sense of it for yourself.
Yeah.
Because you can have many ideas in your head and it makes sense. Yeah, that would work. But until you actually put it down on paper, you're like, okay, actually I need to tweak this, I need to change this. I need to understand how this would work. And like you said, in terms of articulating that vision to a wider team, they need to be able to see it. They're not anywhere. So it's important to write that down. But one of the things that I like to also share is I like to call them success triggers. So you talked about challenges, writing down your vision. It helps you deal with challenging times when you can't roll up. I like to pinpoint success triggers. Why are you doing this? So we have to talk about understanding the why. Why do you want to be successful? Why do you want this business to be successful? What problem is the business solving?
Absolutely.
You know, so writing all those things down. So when those challenging times do come, you refer back to that, and that gives you the motivation to keep going. And you can put these things down, you can drop them. I advise people to put it and stick it on their ceiling. So when you wake up in the morning,
absolutely.
the first thing that you see, feels like when you want to hit that snooze button, your eyes are already open, you're like, I've got to get up. You know, even late at night as well, so it's the last thing that you're looking at. So you're already looking forward to the next day, so you can continue pushing towards achieving your goal.
Yeah, I mean, vision boards are so important, and having them somewhere you can constantly see as a constant reminder of why you're doing what you're doing, so that you can keep going. Yeah, definitely. I think another thing that I tend to say as well is, it's great to have your vision, it's great to have like your 10-year plan or 5-year plan, but I always say revisit that vision, and you know, you can revise it along the way as things change, as things progress, as you change as well. You can always revise that vision. It doesn't have to be, okay, I've written this vision down and there's no changes that are going to be made. So yeah.
I mean, life happens. Coronavirus happens.
I mean,
do you know what I mean? Everybody, there's no business owner that I know that hasn't had to kind of revise what they do or revisit their plans for the next 3 to 5 years. If you're a business owner or an entrepreneur or whatever, and you think to yourself that everything is going to remain the same, you're going to continue to make the kind of money that you've been making, you're fooling yourself.
Basically.
Because there are major, big global companies that have gone down as a result of coronavirus. So you can't be ignorant and just be like, okay, well, you know, my business is doing okay now, and we're going to be doing okay forever. It's not realistic.
Yeah, definitely. You have to be able to adapt to the changes that are being made. So, I mean, we've touched a bit on this anyway, but I think even from your experience in terms of having people in your team, in terms of getting investors maybe, or, you know, other stakeholders, how would you kind of describe, or how would you say, what would you say is the importance of being able to articulate that vision to them, and how would you do that?
For me, I think it lies a lot in passion.
Right.
So a lot of people that I meet and a lot of people that are invested in the work that we do at 2020 Change, they kind of buy into my passion for executing the vision. You know, so we started to spend 7+ years now, and we're probably like first 5 years now with no money, no investment, no nothing, literally running on passion. When I say no money, I mean that the organization was making money and I was making money from it before into it, but it was the passion that kept it going. So seeing the changes in the lives of the young people that we're working with, a constant motivating factor. Because I knew that the more young people we could help, the easier it would be for others to see that the program works. So our big break came when even the Standard article go out, and a major corporate saw it and decided to invest in us, and that's what kind of shot us up to the next level. But I think passion is so key. Like, you have to believe in your vision first.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, coming from a very, very African household, nobody understood what I was doing. You know, 7 years ago, who knew about you and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It was all kind of fresh, and at the point that I didn't study this, you know, so everyone's like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You know, they're wasting the time. It's not like work. The passion just kept that drive over to me. You employ people based on the passion.
Right.
So when they're talking about it, they're able to articulate what we do in a passion.
Yeah.
And others buy into that passion.
Yeah.
I want to be part of something that's working. I want to be part of something that's changing lives. I want to be part of something that's influencing or impacting people in a positive way. I think passion is key.
Yeah, I love that. And I think even in terms of talking about the people that you employ who then are able to also show that passion or sharing that, I think if you're not able to articulate your vision to those people and they're not able to buy into your vision, how are they going to be able to help you achieve your goals?
Exactly.
And even in terms of having that big corporative come on board, sometimes people are very excited that you have like this big investor, or you know, people are buying into this brand, but if you don't have your vision set and they're coming, and they just do whatever. And you know, it's not just about the money they're bringing in, but you know why you started this, you know where you're going, you know where you see this going. So they have to be able to buy into it, and you need to believe it yourself, right? Like you rightly said, and then be able to articulate and share with people. And sometimes people aren't going to buy into that vision, and that's okay. It's not the right organisation for them. Yeah. So I want to shift gears just a little bit and talk about like the power of your mindset and how you. So I mean, vision is part of it in terms of how you see things, but also like, you know, the power of the mind is so powerful. It affects the way you act, it affects the way you speak, and I just wanted to speak to you about how that kind of plays into entrepreneurship. So would you say there's such a thing as an entrepreneurial mindset?
100%. One thing that I like to start off with right off the bat is not everybody is made to be an entrepreneur. You know, people think that it's easy. People think that because they've seen others do it. There's African saying, you know, you have 2 heads. You know, but it's not about having 2 heads. It's about what's in that one head. You get it, and what that individual has done to cultivate the right kind of mindset to deal with the challenges and the storms that come from being an entrepreneur. You know, so you have to develop the right kind of mindset. You know, I don't think people are born with it. I think it's definitely something.
You don't think?
No. So a lot of people think that, you know, it's just about it's the same thing with leadership. People talk about natural born leaders. I don't know if I agree with that either, because I feel like there would be qualities there, but if those qualities are not developed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you might have, you know, business acumen that you might have received from your family, from your environment, but if you don't cultivate certain things yourself, you won't be successful.
Absolutely.
Because we see it time and time again when owners of global companies just pass down, you know, the company, the running of the company to their children. And they haven't groomed that child in the right way.
Yeah, absolutely.
It never amounts to anything. So you have to do the right kind of things to cultivate that mindset. For me, I've always had it, but I had to develop it in different ways. So I went out, I've always been entrepreneurial, meaning that I always wanted to make money. So I'd always think of creative ways to make money. You know, and in doing so, my mind works in a particular type of way. So mixing my entrepreneurial side with my creative side kind of helps me. So I've got a creative mind as well, so I can think of creative ways to make money, creative ways to do things. So I now see myself as a problem solver. Most successful business owners, business people,
Absolutely.
So if you look for that problem, look for a creative way to solve that problem, and make money. A lot of people start out with money as the motivator.
I can't sustain you.
Right? So you have to have a creative mind to be a successful entrepreneur, because you have to be creative about the way that you do things. You have to do things in a different way. So for me, I think that you can learn these things, you can pick them up, but you need to enhance those qualities in you by what you do, by what you read, people you surround yourself with, All of those things are so important.
Yeah.
These are our major teachers, people that we watch, people that we read, things that you feed yourself, things that you constantly feed in your mind. It will determine what you believe in.
Yeah.
It will determine what you believe in yourself, it will determine what you believe in you can do and how far you can go. When you're seeing others do it, you're thinking to yourself, actually, they're not that different.
Yeah.
So there are principles that you can follow to achieve the same kind of results. And how you apply those principles to what it is that you're doing is down to you. So a lot of people just think that they can copy and paste.
Yeah.
You see, maybe it might be an Instagram following. You see a lot of it, especially in this
Yeah.
There's a lot of people just popping up saying they're doing it. Side hustle.
Yeah.
Right? Again, side hustles, it's great.
Yeah.
But where is it going?
Yeah.
Where are you taking this side hustle to? What I like to harp on about is time.
Right.
The investment of your time.
Yeah.
Because time is something that you can't get back.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of people working a 9 to 5, doing side hustle, doing this, all your time is gone, and it's like you're spreading yourself over all these different areas, not thinking about that end goal. So it boils down back to what we were saying about vision. Where is this journey taking you?
Yeah.
So you can't run yourself thin or spread yourself so thin that you're doing so much and it's not really amounting to anything.
Yeah.
You need to be able to see, okay, I'm doing this so that I can get this
Absolutely.
to get there.
Yeah. Yeah.
While I'm doing this, I'm learning this to apply to this,
Yeah.
and it's part of my bigger picture.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't have that. It's this scattergun approach. I'm going to try everything because my guy's doing it, she's doing it, it's working for them. I'm going to jump on it. Doesn't work out.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, just to build on a little bit about the entrepreneurial mindset. So you talked about creativity and problem solving. Would you say there are any other key things that are required? Discipline, yeah, love that. Patience, yes.
Discipline and patience,
Yeah.
It's not always just going to be a walk in the park. Things are not going to flip around that easy, So
Yeah.
you have to be patient, and being patient kind of boils down to moving what it is that you do. Because when things are not going right, everyone's telling you, just leave it. You might just be close to your good brain. If you don't believe in it, you believe what everybody else is saying, you drop it and you've lost out. So if you genuinely believe in what it is you're doing, it's going to take God to come down to stop you from pushing yourself. So patience is a key thing as well, because a lot of people lack patience. They want it and they want it now. Especially when it comes to business. These things take time. And business is like a child. You have to nurture that child. You have to invest in that child. You have to be patient with that child. So a lot of people just run their business, boom.
Overnight success.
Yeah, they've seen it happen, but the person that you're seeing on Instagram that claims to be an overnight success, you don't know how far they've come to become this kind of business. So a lot of people don't document their journeys in that way, so you just see them pop up.
It's true.
But you go and do a bit of research and see what you have like some of the greats people talk about, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, all of that. But check their history. Do you know what I mean? Look how much time, effort, energy they put into what they do. There's that picture of Jeff Bezos and I think it's an apartment where it says Amazon.
Yeah, I saw
then
that.
Show you that. But it's how long? Did it take? How many hours did he invest into building what Amazon is?
Yeah, definitely.
People like to gloss over that. That's in there. That's where the key gems are.
Yeah, I think it's because, especially in the social media age, people don't really highlight the behind the scenes. They don't show the failures. They don't show the times that maybe they wanted to quit. They only show the successes, and I think that's another thing. Because you spoke about discipline, as a business owner, some people think, they're like, I don't want to work a 9 to 5, I don't want to work for somebody else. But actually, when you run your own business, you're working many more hours. You have to be disciplined, you have to put in that work, and you have to say no to certain things, you have to make certain sacrifices because you know where you want to go to. I think another thing is consistency. Talking about Amazon, when he first started, if he wasn't consistent in the things that he was doing, he wouldn't be where he is today. And I think a lot of us think, okay, I'm going to do a little bit here. I've been doing this for a minute. I'm just going to do a little bit here and a little bit there. But no, you've got to be consistent in the work that you're doing and keep doing what you're doing and keep pushing. And eventually, that big break will come.
Exactly.
Yeah. Another thing you touched on was who you surround yourself with. And I think that's so key. Because when we talk about entrepreneurial mindset, one thing I found is that I'm grateful that I have a number of entrepreneurs as friends, and it's helped me along the way, because there's times where certain things are happening and some people just don't get it, and I don't blame them because they're not walking in my shoes. Whereas someone who is an entrepreneur understands my frustrations, understands where I'm going, where I'm coming from, and can help motivate me and can help encourage me and keep me inspired. Sometimes when you even speak to other entrepreneurs and you see what they're doing, you're like, oh, this is really inspiring me to do what I want to do, or to keep pushing. And when you hear their stories, you're like, okay, definitely, if this person was able to do it and they were patient and they've gone on this journey, I can do the same thing. I mean, even in terms of people talking about mentors and the people that they have around them, sometimes having people around you who have that entrepreneurial mindset can also help you avoid certain mistakes, because they've been through, they've done certain things, and it can help you even jump through certain hoops. So yeah, I mean, I think it's so important, the people that you surround yourself with. And I'm not saying don't be friends with somebody who's not an entrepreneur, but have those type of people around you that can inspire you, that can motivate you, that can encourage you, that can push you as well, and can also buy into your vision, essentially.
Important to strike a balance. So you're not surrounding yourself with only entrepreneurs and businessmen. You have to also be able to engage with more people as well.
Your consumers,
your product or your service. But you mentioned about social media, people not showing the true journey. It matters who you're following on social media.
Yes, that's true.
If you're constantly feeding your mind with people that seem to have made it overnight, and you're going to constantly beat yourself up to say that, oh, I'm not doing enough. You see a lot of young people at 25, they feel like their life is over because they haven't hit certain goals. There's other 25-year-olds to hit as well. You're not in competition with them. Everybody has their own race to run. So in terms of surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals, I think it's important to have entrepreneurs and business owners at different levels as well. So you have people that are just starting out, you have people that are advanced, you have people that have exited their companies and sold their companies, you have people that are now investing in companies. It's your responsibility to go out and build those circles of friendship. You have to do it, it's not just going to happen. Like, you won't find them on Instagram. I mean, they're there, but that level of intimacy or that level of relationship can't be built on Instagram. So you have to change the places that you go, change the environments that you're in. Where do these people go to? What kind of networks are they part of? What group chats are they part of? How can I insert myself in those places? And then you start forming your own little circles and hubs. So it's important that you do that.
I love that. Yeah, definitely. So my last question for you is about legacy. I'm building a brand that outlives you, because it's not just about you, and especially in the work that you're doing, 2020 Change, it's about making a huge impact in the lives of others, for them to do the same thing as well for other people. So can you just talk a little bit about building that legacy, especially when it comes to running an organisation that you want to outlive you?
I think legacy is something that I've been thinking about a lot lately. Since the whole COVID-19 coronavirus period, and I was like, if we were to close up shop today, what would we know for? And would our organisation be missed?
Right.
So in some of my circles, these are some conversations that we all had, like social entrepreneurs that we all got together and we were friends, that it actually kind of struck me. And I thought to myself, actually, we're doing all right, because we've been investing in people. We're investing in the right things. So those individuals, they are our legacy. They're the ones that are going to carry that on. We like to pride ourselves on the fact that we are building pillars within communities. So the young people that come through our program, just by default, go back into their communities and become pillars. Other young people see them as inspiration, as role models. Now, if that person can make it, therefore I can too. And one of the things that we tell the young people that come on our program is completely free. To the young person, they don't have to pay anything. But what we do ask is that they pay it forward. So the help and the advice that we've given them, they pass it on to someone else. So when they're in a position to help somebody else come up, they do the same thing as well. We have a number of things that's going to allow the organisation to live beyond me. things like when the young people graduate, they get a badge of honour. That badge is a badge that we expect them to wear proudly, when they graduate to prepare for important meetings. So great icebreaker, great conversation starter, because it's bold, it's gold, and young people see it like, what's that about? And automatically you're able to talk about your experience at 2020 change, and your face lights up, you start thinking back to your experience and young people and other young people that you met. So imagine this like an interview setting and you're scared or nervous or whatever, and someone asks you about your badge. That will really kind of calm you down, and then you can go into it. So we believe that our legacy are the young people that we're actually working with, because they're going to continue that work. Might not be under the banner of 2020, it's not the important thing, but it's the essence of what they've taken from us that they can now reproduce in their own.
I love that. So what would you say for someone who isn't a social entrepreneur in terms of running their own organisation and trying to leave a legacy behind?
It matters what it is that you're doing. So what does your company stand for? What kind of change or what kind of product or what kind of service are you delivering? What do you want to be known for? And instilling that in your organisation from now. So it's not that when your organisation is 5 to 10 years deep, that's when you start thinking about legacy. How do you want people to engage with your brand, or when they think about your brand, what you want to implement? As you start in that company, start thinking as you're writing down your vision, writing down your plan. What experience do I want people to leave us with when they're talking about us and we're not there? What do they say? Start thinking about that, start implementing that in from early. So it's like you're checking yourself. You have companies that have company values, things that they stand by, things that they genuinely believe in, and they instill those values in everything that they do. Even when recruiting staff, you have to buy into the values of the company. So I don't see a lot of that anymore. So you see like large companies have it, but people that are starting out when they say they think about mission, vision, purpose, and that's it. Like values are so important.
Very important.
That's what people want to leave with. That's the impression you leave with. You start communicating that with your vision to your team and to your staff. That way it becomes second nature. Everybody is now part of it, and those that take part in your services or buy your products, they can just do it as well.
Love that. Well, thank you so much, so much for joining us today. This has been such an insightful conversation. I have learned a lot, and I'm sure people that are watching are learning so much. So Duro, if you want to connect with you or 2020 Change, how can they do that?
Well, we're all over social media. We've got our website, 2020change.org. We're at 2020 Change on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And my personal handle is Mr.Oye on Instagram and Mr. Duro Oye on LinkedIn. That's it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, and thanks for watching, guys.